I got a moment, sure.
This is what's on your mind? I try not to dwell too much, but I do have one regret. Years ago, Anarin was an elf, raised in what had all I could think of was how patience is what is needed. Anarin, he was a child, 14 at the time of his leaving. They called him Maleficar. I begged the Templars to tell me if he suffered, if they gave him a quick death. He talked about the alienage sometimes. And the date. The Templars are well trained. The apprentices that came after Anarin benefited greatly from the lessons I learned from him. And there.
This is a nice chain. Well, aren't you sweet? Denerim is she is Ferelden's heart.
His lordship has gone on to Redcliffe.
Oh, there you are. Come to offer congratulations, I suppose? Maybe you intend to throw me a party to celebrate my engagement. I get that Loghain let all the Grey Wardens die. Let his king die. All because he thought he alone could defend Ferelden against the dreaded Orlesians. No matter what your plans are, he deserved to die. He deserved justice. And you made him one of us! There is no way to make that right. No way at all. But why should I complain, right? I'm the king now, and with a beautiful fiancée who is going to remind me of her father every time I look at her. I'll make the best of it, I guess. Well, good luck, I suppose.
The Arl has gone back to Redcliffe.
Yes.
Yes.
Indeed.
Thank you. I passed your test. Fate has a twisted sense of humor, it seems. I suppose you think I'm some sort of monster. More so since I survived your ritual. You keep striking at me, and I just refuse to die decently. You're a poor liar, you know. We must settle things between us somehow or other, or neither of us will get any work done. So, Is that... And just like that, we're out. I don't know what concession you want from me, Warden. I expect my word will not satisfy you. Indeed, I don't... I think it's time we got to the point. I can't imagine that you spared my life in the Landsmeet by accident. You have some plan in mind. Fortunate for me, then, that I'm hardly... All of this can rightly be called my fault. Whether or not you can do better remains to be seen. But if you can make this the end, Warden, I will follow you, I swear it. Andraste, help us, then. We should speak no more. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised at your success. You beat me. Perhaps you can do this after all. Nothing. Do you want something? I suppose I have a moment. Honora always did have a flair for the dramatic. She could have been a bard. It's a foolish question. I'm sure you think me capable of every sort... Well, I'm sure having you come to her rest. But enough about Honora. We ought to get moving. Go ahead. Hate. I've seen painted, masked lords beat an old farmer. I saw good, sensible men fight armored chevaliers with nothing. No weapons, no armies, not even hope of success to see the occupation end. Is that hate? The past is always with us. It's in our bones and our blood, and we wear it on our skin. No, it doesn't. I failed. In any case, there's no use discussing this. We have much work. Go ahead. He was my friend. If he'd wanted to conquer the Fade, I would have led the charge. Merrick was never one to avoid his duty, and given his preference, he would have acknowledged his son no matter the circumstance. But he had more than his honor to think of. It would have ruined Rowan, after all. She'd be reduced to a... So Merrick made the hard choice. Eamon offered to raise the boy, and that was that. I was turned by then, and a gent. But we've been idle long enough. We should get... He was so dirty, you'd have thought he'd been dug up out of the ground. Every Ferelden was... He was bloody, exhausted, and obviously being hunted. I offered to take him to my father's camp. Yes. But I've rattled on for too long already. We should get moving. There are men who... What makes them so? Go ahead. I suppose that depends. Once the border was secure, the army would have regrouped to push back the Darkspawn in the south. We couldn't. Especially... In any case, there's no use discussing this. We have much... Go ahead. Honora is a good queen. She has been for 5 years now. Whatever she might think, I never took power from Honora. In all seriousness, Honora is formidable. You should know that. No one. Honora is strong enough to win. But this isn't the time to discuss such things. By all means. Eamon is a shrewd man. He'll be advising the boy. He'll do all right, I suppose. I was trying... Your friend may get good advice from Eamon, but he's weak. The first chance they get, they'll pry concessions out of him. They'll pick at the throne until it's only a gilded chair with no power or of... Honora, as you may have already noted, this discussion profits no one. By all means. So far as anyone could tell, she'd fall, skin her knees, and command them to stop stinging. It may have worked, too. Warrens. But Honora never joined. Kate, if you're expecting some particular insight into my daughter's character, I'm afraid I'm probably not the best source. I'm hardly... I think... But this is not really the time or place to... Go ahead. Yes.
Yes.
Indeed.
Andraste's mercy that you got here when you did. They all fled to the castle this morning. I thought I could make it to my home and back before they got here, but it took me too long. By now, yes.
Yes. I sense some darkspawn. happened to me?
My lady, you're here. Thank goodness. Some did, yes, but I was told to watch for your arrival, Warden. Your comrade Riordan arrived just ahead of the Darkspawn attack. I should take you to the hall right away.
It's a relief to see you unharmed. And you as well, Loghain.
Yes, what a pleasure to see you again.
The Darkspawn that attacked Redcliffe were relatively few in number, I'm afraid. It was assumed the Horde was marching in this direction, but that is not true.
Riordan tells us that the bulk of the Horde is in fact heading towards Denerim. They are perhaps 2 days away from the capital.
How certain are we that this is good information?
I ventured close enough to listen in, as it were. I am quite certain. The Darkspawn line is wide, and many of them roam away from the main Horde. Until now, most of them have been spotted here in the west.
Not to mention that our forces have been distracted by the Civil War.
There is, I'm afraid, one other piece of news that is of even greater concern. The Archdemon has shown itself. The dragon is at the head of the Horde.
Make her preserve us.
And we won't be able to reach Denerim within 2 days.
We must begin a forced march to the capital immediately with what we have. Denerim must be defended at all costs.
Perhaps not. But what is important is that we know where the Archdemon will be. If we do not defeat the Archdemon, it will not matter if Denerim is saved or the Horde defeated. And only the Grey Wardens can defeat the Archdemon. That is why we must go.
Then we march. And hope the army collected here gives you the chance you need. Arleman, how long before the army can set out?
By daybreak, Your Majesty.
Then give the order. The longer we delay, the longer Denerim will be at the mercy of the Horde.
An excellent question.
Then you don't know. Of course not. You're both new recruits Duncan wouldn't have expected.
I will give the orders at once, and will notify you the moment we are ready to march.
Excellent.
Perhaps you and Loghain should meet me before you retire for the evening. There are things we need to speak of.
I will have someone show you to your rooms. I suggest you all get some rest while you can. We will need it.
And what word have we from Orzammar?
Yes, House Clorette's feud with House Romald has flared up again since their son died in that deep road.
Fine time to start with that nonsense again. I've half a mind to... Nothing that can be dealt with now, I'm afraid.
Once all of this blight business, they're probably half hoping we'll all wind up dead. Enough to face the Darkspawn all on their own, I suppose? It was our good fortune that you decided to go to Orzammar when you did, Grey Warden. For all that a surfacer needed our help. Resting? Who can rest after the march we had just getting here? You tall races have it so easy.
That and we're kept...
Are things truly that desperate? Do we stand a chance of losing? There's a reason.
Right. Off to camp with both of you. Pleasant evening to you, Grey.